to Gridiron Ring, a sports talk show covering football and professional wrestling. I'm your host, the Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure, if you haven't done so already, to like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, Cool Hand Luke 96, on social media. The links are in the description below. Where to begin for WWE Super ShowDown? We got 9 matches on the card. Very well could have another or two added by Friday at 2 p.m., the start of Super ShowDown 2019. Super ShowDown last year took place down under in Australia, but now the WWE is going back to the Middle East, going back to Saudi Arabia. This will be the third show of the 10-year deal that the Saudis and Vince McMahon and the WWE have in place. So we had the Greatest Royal Rumble last April, and then Crown Jewel last November. Super ShowDown now this Friday, June the 7th, 2019 in Jeddah. So 9 matches, as I said. I'll start off with Lars Sullivan and Lucha House Party. Lars is definitely going to win this. There's no way around it. There's no question about it. Lars Sullivan will destroy the Lucha House Party. I don't even know why they're having this match. Just have all 4 competitors in the 50-man Battle Royal. Hell, who knows? They'll still have the match, and then they still could very well put all 4 competitors in the 50-man Battle Royal at the end of the show. Main event supposed to be Goldberg and The Undertaker. Probably will be. They'll have the 50-man Battle Royal either kicking off the show or in the co-main event, I'm thinking, because Goldberg Undertaker main event, it's going to be a very, very quick match, less than 5 minutes, because Goldberg and The Undertaker, Goldberg especially, they simply cannot wrestle. Even though Goldberg's promo last night on SmackDown and The Undertaker's on Raw this past week as well, they were pretty damn good, even though they cut The Undertaker off because they were right at the 11 o'clock hour. But they simply cannot wrestle because they're 50 plus years of age, especially Goldberg. He hasn't wrestled full time since like the early 2000s when he left WCW and came to WWE. Had a short stint there before coming back just a couple years ago. WrestleMania 33 season, defeated Kevin Owens to become Universal Champion, and that's been brought up here recently as well by some former and current WWE superstars, with Chris Jericho in particular saying that and I agree with him on it. He said it on Talk is Jericho and on Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM Radio, that the main event of WrestleMania 33 should have been Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. But it ended up being for the United States Championship, and it was second on the card. And it was the best story leading in to that Mania 2 years ago, April of 2017, down in Orlando, Florida. WWE goes back down to the Sunshine State of Florida next year for WrestleMania. Once again, WrestleMania 36 in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you had Goldberg then defeat Kevin Owens for the Universal title at Fastlane. Brock Lesnar defeated Goldberg then in a rematch 13 years later at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar became Universal Champion once again and then was never seen, but now he's Money in the Bank right now. Mr. Beast in the Bank, they're calling him. Boombox Brock, whatever the hell you want to call him. It's pretty funny. It goes back to the early mid-2000s as well, with Brock Lesnar's comedy skit that he would do on SmackDown all the time with Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker and Big Show, whoever else was on SmackDown at that point in time as well. Batista coming into the fold about a year or so later as well. But anyways, you had Goldberg and Lesnar, and then that was the co-main event, it was the third to last match. At the co-main event that year, it was the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Naomi, I believe, ended up winning that, if I'm not mistaken. And then in the main event of WrestleMania 33, to wrap this up real quick, you had Undertaker and Roman Reigns. Undertaker laid his hat and his trench coat down in the middle of the ring, and that was the last we saw of him until WrestleMania 34, when he faced John Cena in New Orleans. And then he's made a couple appearances since. He actually wrestled at Crown Jewel last year, DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. Actually wrestled at Super ShowDown as well last year down under in Australia in a singles match versus the Game. And Triple H also has a match this year at WWE Super ShowDown to wrap back around here. So 9 matches, and WWE is putting it out there. The headline, they're promoting it as its equivalent. Super Showdown is on Friday, June the 7th here in a couple days. Thanks for listening to my predictions. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. WWE is putting it out there that this pay-per-view, in their minds, and there's no way in hell it's going to be, they're putting it out there saying it's going to be the equivalent, if not better, than WrestleMania 35 just 2 months ago now. 2 months to the day on Friday, actually, June the 7th to April the 7th in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So they go from NYC now to the Middle East, to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And like I said, we very well could get a match or two added as well. Women's wrestling, women in general appearing on the show. The Saudis do not want that. I get that. That's just part of their roles or part of their religion, whatever the hell it is. I could really care less, to be honest with you. But I did hear that, and that's why we didn't, get any women on the Greatest Royal Rumble or the Crown Jewel pay-per-view last year. But the women should be able to wrestle. And anybody of any descent, which is going to bring me to my next point here, or my next statement here in a second as well, with some superstars not going, over to Saudi Arabia once again, that being Sami Zayn, and then a couple others as well. But the women and wrestlers of other descent, they should be able just to go over there and wrestle, do their thing, and get the hell out then once the show's over. And that's why I think, obviously they're going to have the main event be Goldberg and Taker. And if people don't like the finish, they can hurry up and get the hell out and get back home safely, hopefully. Early, it's going to be late Friday night over in Saudi Arabia. That's why this is taking place at 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon here in the States. So then they'll get home, early Saturday morning then. It would be Saturday afternoon time in Saudi Arabia, but then once they come back to the States, it'd be early Saturday morning, I would think. But women should be able to wrestle. I did hear, though, that Natalya and Alexa Bliss did travel with the company and all the other superstars over to Saudi Arabia, along with Renee Young, who will be on commentary. So once again, Renee Young on commentary. Jon Moxley actually just won the New Japan, the IWGP U.S. Championship earlier this morning. So congrats to Mox on that. He will be wrestling in New Japan and in All Elite Wrestling as well, AEW. And AEW All Out, August the 31st. NXT UK will have a takeover of that event that day. They'll have a takeover event that day as well. Excuse me there. Getting a little tongue twisted here. Going on and on about random shit that I don't even need to be talking about because I need to be predicting Super Showdown. But it is what it is. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you guys for listening. And be sure to share this as well on social media. But going back to the women, they could add Natalya and Alexa Bliss to the card. We'll have to see. But like I said, they just need to let them do their thing. Whether or not they're allowed to do it or not. But I think in time, eventually, women will be allowed to wrestle on these shows. Because I do see, I have heard as well that, the Saudis are trying to, get out of their old habits. They're trying to, move into the future as a better country. So, Moxley, new champ, and NXT UK takeover, All Out, and there's another I think New Japan has a wrestling event over in London as well, or over in Europe there on August 31st. So August 31st for wrestling is going to be one hell of a day, but that is also the first day of college football season this year as well. So enough with that. One more thing though. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, along with Aleister Black, will not be going to Super ShowDown. They are staying home here in the good old US of A. So as I said, Lars Sullivan and Lucha House Party. I think Lars is going to win that. He'll destroy them all again. All Lince Dorado, Kalisto, and Greg Metalik. I could, see somebody coming out to attack Lars afterward to, potentially set up a feud with him. Maybe Bray Wyatt. I said that a couple months ago when they had the Superstar shakeup. Bray's been doing Firefly Funhouse ever since. I think Bray is actually, if he goes to Super ShowDown on Friday, I think Bray Wyatt will be a dark horse to win the 50-man Battle Royal. But Braun Strowman winning it last year really didn't help him at all. All he got was a trophy and a championship belt, but both of those haven't been seen since. So obviously Braun is still your Saudi champion for the WWE, and Braun Strowman actually this year for Super ShowDown over in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on Friday, June the 7th, Braun Strowman will be facing the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, who am I going to pick for this? I honestly don't know. I have penciled in here Braun Strowman. I could see Lashley winning as well. I mean, either or. I honestly don't know what they have planned for both of these guys in the near future. Now, maybe if Lesnar cashes in on Rollins and wins, maybe they have Braun Brock then finally for the title. Maybe Lashley, Lesnar, get Lashley over for the first time in quite a while as a face, even though he's a heel, because Brock somewhat a heel now as Beast in the Bank, even though it's somewhat split down the middle, I think, because sometimes he's, acting, funny. Sometimes he's mad and pissed off. But like I said, it goes back to the early to mid 2000 days when he was on SmackDown. It's a comedy skit right now with Brock Lesnar having Money in the Bank. So Lars Sullivan over Lucha House Party, and then I'm going to pick Braun Strowman to beat Bobby Lashley at Super ShowDown on Friday. Roman Reigns versus the best in the world right now in 2019 in the WWE, Shane McMahon. Now, the original best in the world, the current best in the world as well, is Phil Brooks, CM Punk, and I'll leave that at that. But Roman Reigns, Shane O'Mac, they could turn this into, say, a no DQ come Friday, maybe a steel cage match as well. We'll find out and see. But right now, it's just a regular singles match. Shane will probably do some high-flying stuff, if it doesn't get turned into, what I just stated there. But Roman Reigns is definitely going to win this. He's going to beat Kofi Kingston, I still think, at SummerSlam in Toronto, middle of August. That will also be the next TakeOver event as well, TakeOver 25, this past Saturday night in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and Adam Cole, baby, finally won the NXT Championship, so congrats to Adam frickin' Cole. So NXT TakeOver Toronto and SummerSlam 2019, middle of August in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So Roman Reigns, is only in a segment right now with Shane McMahon to get him over a little bit more before he faces Kofi and beats him at SummerSlam. So Reigns will win at Friday, or on Friday, at Super ShowDown, because Shane McMahon as well, he stood tall on both Raw and SmackDown this past week. So just another reason why Roman Reigns is going to win. In my opinion, this is one of the most predictable cards in quite a while, going back to maybe late last year. But we've had a lot of pay-per-views since then. So Roman Reigns, he'll beat Shane on Friday at Super ShowDown, in my opinion at least. Let me know down in the comments below who you guys have winning all 9 matches, maybe 10 if they add one or two, down in the comments below as well. So far, Lars Sullivan, Braun Strowman, and the big dog himself, Roman Reigns, I think will win at Super Showdown. Hashtag WWE SSD maybe. Hashtag SSD. Haven't checked into that, but keep an eye out for the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram post. Also subscribe right here on YouTube. Finn Balor and Andrade for the Intercontinental Championship. Balor definitely going to win this. I think he's going to be holding this title for quite a while. Andrade also stood tall on SmackDown last night too, so just another reason to pick the Demon Finn Balor for Super Showdown versus Andrade. Zelina Vega, highly doubt, will be by Andrade's side come Friday because Zelina Vega, the women not going to Super Showdown. Reason why Aleister Black is not going, because the women aren't going. Aleister Black married to Zelina Vega. Daniel Bryan not going because of his beliefs, and that's totally fine. You don't want to go, that's fine. And that's why they have Kofi Kingston facing off versus Dolph Ziggler, because Daniel Bryan's not going and Kevin Owens isn't going. And those have been the last 2 matches for the WWE Championship going back to WrestleMania. You had Kofi, and going back to Fastlane, actually, you had, and this brings in Ali on whether or not he'll be there. If he is, he'll be in the Battle Royal. This goes back to Fastlane. It was a triple threat. It was when Kevin Owens made his return. It was a month before WrestleMania, 3 months ago now. It was Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, and Ali. And then at WrestleMania 35, it was Kofi Mania. Daniel Bryan lost the WWE Championship to Kofi Kingston. And then just at Money in the Bank a couple weeks ago, it was Kofi and Kevin Owens once again, this time in a singles match. And Kofi won. So because Bryan and Owens aren't going because of their beliefs, Owens real good friends with Sami Zayn, Zayn not invited because of his dissent. I get it, it is what it is, but like I said, I think in time, everybody in the entire company of the WWE will eventually be able to go to Saudi Arabia and wrestle. So that leads me into my next prediction for the next match that I'm going to go over, and that is for the WWE Championship. It's Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler on Friday at Super Showdown for the WWE Championship, and that's why it's Dolph Ziggler, because there's no Daniel Bryan and there's no Kevin Owens. So they called up Dolph, hey, can you work Super Showdown? Sure. I'm still going to get paid a shitload of money from the Saudis. You know, you're going to lose, but, you know, it is what it is. Kofi's definitely going to win. If they have Dolph Ziggler win the WWE Championship over Kofi Kingston at Super Showdown in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, of all places, for God's sakes, give me a break. Dolph Ziggler is good, but it doesn't work in with the storyline that they're trying to do, because Roman Reigns will defeat Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam. Plain and simple. That's what it's going to turn out to be. Mark my words. Hopefully you're listening. Hopefully you're liking, following, and subscribing, and sharing as well on social media. So mark my words on that. Kofi Kingston will defeat Dolph Ziggler, and if he doesn't, I don't know what I'll do. And then Roman Reigns, right now I still think, I've been saying this for a couple months, ever since Roman came back, I think Roman will defeat Kofi at SummerSlam. So be sure to tune in as well on Friday, live on Periscope, for my live reactions play-by-play of WWE Super Showdown at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So Periscope, Cool Hand Luke 96, hope to see everybody there. Seth frickin' Rollins, Baron Corbin, Universal Championship on the line. I think the Architect wins. Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar then maybe right afterwards. If Brock cashes in, will he win? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll find out and see. Brock Lesnar will make an appearance, though, for damn sure. Whether or not, he cashes in and wins or loses, we're going to have to find out and see. But Rollins will beat Corbin. And then if Brock does cash in and win, it's going to be Brock Strowman, Brock Lashley, Brock McIntyre. I'm trying to think who else. Maybe Brock Corbin as well. But then if Rollins wins, I get you have Stomping Grounds in a couple weeks, June the 23rd. I'll be live on Periscope as well for that. It's going to be Rollins, Corbin in a rematch probably, and then Extreme Rules, it's going to be Rollins, McIntyre, and then Styles is hurt right now. That's why we haven't seen him on TV. Hopefully he'll be coming back sometime soon, and then get back in the championship picture. Maybe they, because of his injury, they go back to the Styles Samoa Joe feud. This time around, they'll have it be for the United States Championship. We saw what that was middle of last year, leading into the fall. The AJ Styles Samoa Joe feud, that was awesome. Put that on Monday Night Raw, though, this time around. Get those ratings up once again. I would buy into that. So, Seth Rollins defeats Baron Corbin, and then we'll see what happens moving forward. But Rollins, he'll walk out of Saudi Arabia still Universal Champion. There's no way in hell, unless they actually have Lesnar cash in and win, there's no way in hell Rollins does not leave Saudi Arabia your Universal Champion. 2 matches then, plus the Battle Royal. 2 matches with legends, Triple H and Randy Orton, and Goldberg and The Undertaker. Triple H, I think, will win Greatest Royal Rumble last year. He lost to John Cena, but that's John Cena. The Super ShowDown event, he won. The Super ShowDown event last year in Australia, he won. I think he's going to win on Friday as well, this year's Super ShowDown over the Viper Randy Orton. But then at the Crown Jewel event, he also won. So recent pay-per-views, recent events in other countries, Triple H has won. So I think Triple H wins again. He defeats the Viper Randy Orton. And then this continues the Evolution storyline dating back to the mid-2000s as well. It seems like everything's repeating itself right now. We're getting all these rematches, 10, 15, 20 years later. First time ever, though, with Goldberg and The Undertaker in the main event, but I'm going to go over that here next before the 50-man Battle Royal, and then give you my pick on who I think should and then win that. But Triple H, he defeated Batista at WrestleMania. He'll defeat Randy Orton at Super ShowDown, and then there's only him left, and then Ric Flair. He's obviously not going to face off versus Ric Flair anytime soon. So, no offense to Nate. I know he's been in and out of the hospital, and best wishes to him and his family. But Ric Flair, he's never going to wrestle again, so we're not going to get that match. We probably would have loved it if we would have got it, at a big pay-per-view event for the WWE, but I don't believe that ever happened. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. So Triple H, the Game versus Randy Orton, the Viper. Give me the Game over the Viper. And then next, Goldberg, Undertaker. Damn good promo on Monday Night Raw. Undertaker telling Goldberg that he is next. And then Goldberg told The Undertaker then on SmackDown last night that he is next to rest in peace. Lights went out. Undertaker's behind him. And then they had a face-to-face. Lights went out again. And then Goldberg, walks off. Stands tall a little bit, I guess you could say. I think Undertaker's going to win because I think more people, especially the Saudis, whether or not they have a say on who wins these matches or not, I don't know. I highly doubt it. But Undertaker, I think more people know who The Undertaker is compared to Goldberg. Now, Goldberg, damn good wrestler back when, not recent, because, like I said, this match is going to be less than 5 minutes long. Promos, though, were damn good for both of these competitors this past week on WWE TV. But Undertaker will win on Friday at Super ShowDown. 50-man Battle Royal now to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Hit the little thumbs up button if you have. 50-man Battle Royal. They have not announced any of the competitors. None whatsoever. So I went through a superstar list and wrote down some names. I believe I got to 50 as well. So you guys can count along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the whole way up to 50. Maybe we'll be on the next episode, or maybe Bray Wyatt will do something with counting on one of the next episodes of Firefly Funhouse. I think that would be an interesting little piece because, hell, he taught kids, I should say, how to spell sociopath there a couple weeks ago. So 50-man battle royal. Just going from my gut here, who I think could potentially be in the battle royal on Friday. Hawkins and Ryder, the Raw Tag Champs. Samoa Joe, if he's going, I don't know if he is. Bray Wyatt, as I said, I think he's a dark horse. If they have him go as well, give him something to do with Firefly Funhouse too. So Cedric Alexander, Cesaro. Who knows? We might have a best of 7 with Cesaro and Ricochet, and then a tag team forming with the two of them, just like Cesaro did with Sheamus a couple years ago when Mick Foley was the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Mick Foley introduced the 24/7 Championship a couple weeks ago as well, 24/7 title. It'll be on the line on Friday. I can guarantee that. They'll probably have it involved in the 50-man Battle Royale. So, Hawkins and Ryder, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, Cedric Alexander, Cesaro. I think the Revival will be in this as well, along with the Usos, Drew McIntyre, EC3, Eric Young, Heath Slater. I think it'd be a damn good segment, damn good feud with Heath Slater and R-Truth for the 24/7 title. R-Truth already now a 4 or 5-time 24/7 champ. Defended it last night, lost to Elias, and then pinned Elias under the ring after the match, as the original match was a lumberjack match, and then everybody just started butting heads, going after each other, and then Elias and R-Truth underneath the ring. They actually had a camera underneath there as well. Undertaker was probably filming it because he was probably underneath there the whole entire night, getting ready for the main event segment with Goldberg. But R-Truth now, 4 or 5-time 24/7 champ. Hell, he lost it to Jinder this past Sunday on a golf course of all places, and then won it right back, and then Carmella dragged him away on the golf cart as he was hanging on from the back. But so Hawkins and Ryder, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, Cedric Alexander, Cesaro, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder, the Revival, Drew McIntyre, Ethan Carter III, Eric Young, Heath Slater. I think Slater and R-Truth would put on a damn good match, have a damn good segment, damn good feud for the 24/7 title. So WWE, if you're listening, make it happen. Usos, as I said as well, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. We'll have to see if they, along with some other talent, some other superstars in the WWE right now, if they'll be getting out of their contracts, not re-signing when the time comes, and then heading to All Elite Wrestling in the near future. We'll have to find out and see. Only time will tell. The Ascension, The Miz, who I think could potentially win as well. He's not really doing anything right now. Mojo Rawley, No Way Jose, Ricochet, Bobby Roode, Titus O'Neil, who he tripped and fell underneath the ring last year at the Greatest Royal Rumble, so hopefully that does not happen this year either. R-Truth, All Elite if he goes. I don't know if he is as well. Apollo Crews, Big Show will definitely be in it, I think. Buddy Murphy, B-Team, Chad Gable, Elias, Jinder Mahal, Matt Hardy, Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery, the Colognes, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. One of them's hurt. That's why we haven't seen him on TV. I don't know what one it is, but one of them's hurt. Could whoever is hurt be healthy and be able to come back by Friday? We'll see come Friday. Maybe only one of them, maybe none of them. Maybe they save them for something else. But I would think with the money that WWE is getting for this event with the 10-year deal, I think they'd be stupid not to involve Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura and a lot of other mid-card talent that have since digressed in the past couple years from being up in the main spot on Raw and SmackDown week in and week out. And that's why they introduced the 24/7 title, to give those guys something to do. I know it's comedy. I know it's just a comedy skit, but at least it's working a little bit. Just give it some time. I think more people will eventually catch on. So, Colognes, Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, Shelton Benjamin. Rusev might not even be going because Lana's not going. We'll see. And then Tony Nese from 205 Live, I think he could be there. I think we'll have some 205 Live guys, some NXT guys. I think Johnny Gargano and Kushida, along with Matt Riddle, could be involved. And then NXT UK, Maybe Cassius Ohno. Everybody's been calling for him for a very, very long time. Hell, CM Punk wanted him in the Shield, and then they put Roman Reigns in it, and the rest is history with that a little bit. But the Shield is no more now because Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, is no longer in the WWE. He is in All Elite Wrestling. He is all in with them, and then he is also in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and just became the IWGP US champ earlier today. So Cassius Ohno, everybody wanted him up on the main roster, after that as well, but never happened. He's over in UK now with NXT, so he can make an appearance. I did see somebody put on one of the stories that they made a stop on the way to Saudi Arabia in Germany. London, is in England. Other cities are in Germany. I'm sure they, stopped somewhere or had somebody meet them wherever, during their break, and then they're going to pick them up and, go to Saudi Arabia as well. We'll see. There's probably going to be some surprises, I would think. There was last year. But some legends, some Hall of Famers who could potentially be in this as well on Friday. The 50-man Battle Royal at Super ShowDown. John Bradshaw, Layfield, JBL, maybe King Booker T, and then the immortal one himself, Hulk Hogan. But those are just predictions on that. I honestly don't know who's going to be in the Battle Royal because they didn't announce anything whatsoever, not like they do with the Royal Rumble matches. But yeah, those are my predictions for WWE Super ShowDown. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for listening, and I'll see everybody now on Friday, live on Periscope, for my live reactions, play-by-play. But wait, there's more. Go ahead, laugh. I actually just got done listening to this, and I realized I did not actually give out my prediction on who I think is going to win the Battle Royal, even though whoever wins it, it's probably not going to mean anything for him, because look at Braun Strowman last year, as I said, with the Greatest Royal Rumble. He got a trophy and a championship belt, but those have not been seen since. That was the end of April 2018, so almost a year and a half later, Braun Strowman's still your Saudi champ, but those items have not been seen since. So Bray Wyatt, as I said, dark horse, I believe, to win. Also The Miz, because he's not doing anything at the moment. Ricochet too. I mean, it looked like they were giving him a push with Aleister Black, and then they split them up. Lost a couple matches, and now he's in a feud with Cesaro. Like I said, maybe a best of 7 with them, a tag team with them as well. Who knows? We'll see. Ricochet, I wouldn't mind him winning, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to win the 50-man Battle Royal on Friday at Super ShowDown. So that completes, now 100% completes my predictions for Super ShowDown. Once again, thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in on Friday at 2 p.m. on Periscope, Cool Hand Luke 96, for my live reactions, play-by-play of WWE Super ShowDown 2019. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.